Hi, good morning everybody. Today is September 5. It is being observed as National Teachers Day. A teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. In this video, I am going to put in front of you two examples. This video definitely will energize you, motivate you, inspire you, and it will strengthen your courage to learn and to live and to continue your studies and in your all future endeavors. And the people like they are struggling with, they are fighting against any limitations or maybe mentally or physically. For them also definitely this video will help a lot. On the occasion of Teachers Day, ICET Public School has arranged a number of programs for the children as well as for the teachers. All the programs, we have an intention. The only one intention is that the future of our children, the future of the coming generation. Without much introduction and explanations and glorifying words, I would like to directly introduce them. One is Dr. Habib. Dr. Habib, he is assistant professor and research supervisor, Department of English, Farooq College, Calicut. The other one is Mr. Akbar. He is also assistant professor, Department of English, Government College in Malappuram. They are brothers. Moreover, they are teachers. They, as I said earlier, they light the way for others. They are visually impaired teachers. How they can inspire number of students, even they can enlighten number of students in their colleges or in the society, definitely is an example for our life. These two examples in this video, we are sharing few questions and few answers, and the show will go like that. But you, the students or the people of the society, please look at the light, look at the inspirational words, and look at the courage or the vision of those two teachers in this Teachers Day, in the occasion of Teachers Day. This is an edutainment program. It will educate you and it will lead you to the academic success. Definitely. So please watch this show. So I welcome our guest to the show. Thank you. Sir, welcome to the our small chat show, we can say, or an interview, we can say. We have many students here, or they are on cue to ask you few questions. And if you don't mind, sir, will you please, just for our students, how can you introduce yourself and what this?
Thank you, sir, for giving me this very beautiful and memorable opportunity. I am Dr. Habib. I am an assistant professor of English at Farooq College, Calicut, and I am also the vice president of Kerala Federation of the Blind. I have been teaching for the last, 10 years plus, and also I am a little bit involved in the social activism as well.
And myself, Akbar, I am assistant professor of English in Government College, Malappuram. Along with Habib, I also was an alumni of Farooq College. For the last 10 years, I also have been in the process of teaching. For the time being, I am doing my PhD.
Thank you, sir. And on today's Teachers Day, September 5, and what do you say on Teachers Day as you are the teachers, and what do you remember of, and to our students, what the message you can give?
Okay, when we think of Teachers Day, we are reminded of the life of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, the great visionary, whose life we are commemorating. Obviously, he got associated with Teachers Day because of his educational vision and his commitment and social perspective. And also, I am reminded of some of the teachers I had who could exert such a strong influence in my life. Obviously, there are a lot of them, so I don't want to name them, but each of them have contributed in their own ways in shaping, making me what I am today. So, at the outset, let me express my adorations, respect, and my gratitude to all those teachers who had shown their commitment and their dedication in shaping my career.
A teacher, according to me, a person who interprets things individually or rather spiritually, is not simply teaching text to the students, he's interpreting the text within his own mental frame.
Okay, this time I do remember of Robert Frost, the poet. He says that we dance around the ring, but the secret sits in the middle. What Mr. Akbar said, that we are not only that imparting the text, but we are trying to impart moreover, and more than what the text says, we are really dancing around the ring. Is it true or not?
Yes, in fact, Bacon said that a good teacher is the one who leaves a gap for the students to fill in later. So the teacher is not just a provider of information, as we usually see in our common educational procedure. A teacher has to open up the wider universe to the students, and I feel that what the education should aim at is giving them a kind of perspective that they need to have. In fact, if you remember, a kind of educational paradigm that we had implemented here called critical pedagogy was, in fact, that was one was promoted by Paulo Freire, was aiming at creating this consciousness, the kind of perspective that our students needed about the society. We are living in a kind of competitive society.
I would like to add on to that. There are people who look at you that as you blind teachers. What do you say to them?
Actually, there are certain stereotyped perceptions about visual impairment. So, if you read, for example, an article in a newspaper, they say that, oh, that can be understood by any blind person, simply because they feel that a blind person's ability of understanding is very much limited. I think that I am not a blind teacher, because as far as my understanding of teaching is concerned, it is to give the students an understanding or a direction about what they are and what they should be, and the kind of discipline that they are dealing with. So for that, I think sight is not at all an important requirement. And in a society which is structured for the sighted, our problem is a problem of the marginalized. And when it is structured in such a way in knowledge and in society, we have to have a very strong counter politics to challenge this. But I think I don't find myself to be hampered in any way in comparison with my colleagues, especially the sighted colleagues, in dealing with any aspect of teaching. So I totally today, of course, as I understand the socio-political cultural background by which they are using the coinage of, obviously I am not that much emotionally moved as I was in the past, but still I feel that there is a great deal of it is something wrong to say, to call someone a blind teacher, a deaf teacher, or a something of that sort.
Okay, thank you, sir. It's very clear. And on this special day, we have many questions that our students are eagerly waiting. And to ask you the questions, I would like to. So we know that in this video today, we are fighting against this COVID-19. As we are in social distancing, keeping social distancing and all, it is not possible to bring everybody on the stage, and that virtually we have arranged a few questions that our students are asking to you. And if you don't mind, I would like to invite our first student. She is from grade 9. Her name is Nihida. Sir, may I?
Hi sir, happy Teachers Day. Myself Nihida MK, studying in grade 9 ICET school. Hope you are doing well. I have a small question to you. If you're kind enough to respond, it would give me much pleasure. Sir, I'm an MPBS, member of backbench students. Perhaps you might not be in your school days. However, The popular dictum says that the best brain of the nation may be found on the last bench of the class. What do you think? Can it be true? How do you make sure that students in front of you pay attention to you?
Thank you, Nikita, for asking such a beautiful question. There are indeed two questions. First of all, education is about forming your attitude. Whether you are sitting in front or in back bench, that doesn't matter as far as your attitude is right, as far as you have a curiosity to understand things from the mouth of a teacher. So there are so many people who were sitting in the back bench in the classes, just like Abraham Lincoln, who later became presidents of countries, prominent educationalists. So it's not about sitting in front or sitting in back bench. Your attitude is important, and maybe in the beginning you are not that attractive to the scenario of education, but in the progress you will become equipped with the situation and you will become a good human being. And of course, the aim of education is to become a good human being. That's the answer for the first question.
And obviously regarding the second question, one of my students, your teacher, Mobin, is already here, and she knows what are strategies we were, in fact I was using in my class. There are multiple ways of assuring that my students are attentive. One of the things, of course, I usually know most of them by name, so I call them in between, and I don't usually conduct a kind of monolithic kind of lecture wherein I deliver and the students sit silent and solo everything. We have to have a sort of discourse like lecture and interactive kind of classroom. So we usually discuss everything, we recite poems, we discuss things in between, and asking questions definitely is one of the ways by which you can make sure that they are attentive. So I give them assignments, in between I ask them to read out things, and since I am not visually able, I usually use my voice to its perfection. So if you are sitting on the backbench and playing with your Samsung Galaxy A31, then obviously if the camera flashes or if some audio is played, unless and until you are sensitive enough to shut down the voice, I'll be able to catch you, and I've already caught many such people in my class. So since you are a visually disabled person, you have to use whatever residual competencies. You have to make sure that you do your business well, and above all that, it is definitely, it does not depend on whether you are a doctor, you are a professor, you are X or Y, but it depends on whether your teaching is attractive. And I think as far as I'm concerned, I'm still hopeful that I'm not that bad a teacher. So obviously I will be able to manage my students.
Thank you, sir. And definitely this talk will inspire. Sir, I was teaching for almost 10 years in schools, and whereas you are in college, and what I felt that the students don't have a real vision in the sense that to where they are leading to. Such they don't have. And definitely our talk, it will help them to see the world. And also to set examples, to set their aim also. We have another student here, and so I invite that student. She will ask you a question.
Hi sir, this is Farida. I study in grade 8. Recently, I have read newspaper reports about your life story success, and I'm really glad for this opportunity. Sometimes we may not achieve what we really wanted to be in our future. My question is, what would you be doing if you weren't teaching? Was teaching your ambition when you were a kid? And one more question, when did you really start thinking about teaching career very seriously? These are my questionings. May Allah bless you always. Thank you.
So, thank you, Farida, again for that wonderful question. Me and my brother, both of us passed SSLC with 91% of marks, 550 out of 600. But in our times, the opportunities of the visually impaired, especially in higher education, was very limited. Nowadays, there are bank managers, there are people who are even studying for science courses. But in our times, even though we secured good marks where we could have gone for MBBS or engineering in our normal times, since we were visually impaired, our opportunities were very limited. So we pursued humanities, and we got about 85 to 87% for humanities plus 2 as well. Then our ambition was to go for English literature, because to become a college lecturer was a very nice opportunity presented then. Especially there was no much technological advancements when we finished our plus 2, but within 1 or 2 years there was far technological advancement, and that made our process very easy. So it was due to the pressure of the opportunities that we tuned ourselves to the art subjects, but we feel that it's a blessing in disguise.
So, besides, if not teaching, today of course a visually impaired person can become a civil servant. In the recent civil service exam, Gokul is a totally visually impaired person from Thiruvananthapuram got 8, not for rank. So there are other opportunities, there are computer software professionals and all that. But in our case, obviously, that was teaching was one of the attractive professions. And your ambition gets changing when you grow up. For example, when I was in the primary school, I wanted to be a primary school teacher. When I moved to the high school, I thought that the high school teaching is the best one. And similarly, when I was studying in my college, I understood, okay, college teaching has a lot of attraction. In between, I wanted to be, or rather Akbar and myself wanted to be civil servants as well, but the kind of energy that we gave it probably was not that enough, since we got the opportunity to be teachers and to do PhD and all that. So that ambition did not come up the way we wanted it to be. So I think that was okay. Our ambition got changing every now and then. You cannot have a stagnant ambition, because your aptitude plus your attitude decides your altitude. So that was why when I understood that teaching in a college is a profession wherein I could excel my best, I thought I chose it to be one of the most fruitful areas where we could excel. So we both became assistant professors or teachers in a college.
Thank you, sir. It was a very good answer. Dear children, I'm talking to you now. That you see, that is how the world and how the things, not only on the occasion of Teachers' Day, I think there is nothing else we can give you ICET Public School. Always with you to inspire you and to give you and to straight path you, and moreover, definitely it will help you a lot. Sir, with your permission, we have already mentioned that your student is here,
yes.
One of our teacher. Her name is Mubin. So, and here, let me leave for a while. I invite Mubin Miss to carry on this interview section. Thank you, sir.
It's my great pleasure to see my student.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir.
Today is a very special day. We all know that today is Teachers' Day. So I'm really happy to be here, because I'm just with my old teachers. I'm seeing them after a long time. So this is really a happiest moment for me, because on this special day I'm blessed with my beloved teachers, Mr. Habib sir and Akbar sir. Thank you so much, sir. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
Hello, sir. A very happy Teachers' Day to you. How are you doing? Well, let me introduce myself to you. Myself, Yasama, from grade 9th in ICT Public School. Sir, I'm immensely thankful to you for letting me ask you a question that I'd like to on this very special day. Sir, it is said that a teacher is the one who tells you where to look at but don't tell you what to see. How come it's true? Sir, could you please elaborate it on the basis of your own experience?
So thank you, Ria, for that question. And in fact, that depends on how the teacher has shaped his or her perspective, because We usually have very good teachers who tell you where to look at, how you can shape your talents, how you can use your competence. But there are other teachers who just tell you what to see, what not to see, the kind of moral preachers, just like Aristotle said, the moral preachers who tell you what to do and what not to do. Obviously, the great teacher is, a good teacher is the one who does not tell you about everything, but show you the path to what is what. So I think I had both kind of teachers. Some of the teachers, obviously in my school days, especially when I was studying in Rahmania school, a special school, there were some of the teachers who were really talented in showing us the wider universe, the different perspectives, the kind of atmosphere the universe we encountered, and what it meant to be visually impaired, how could we survive and all that. But there were others who were just disseminating the information to us. So I think it depends on how competent the teacher is. As you said, a great teacher is always the one who understands that he is not just a provider of information, but one who tries to imbibe a perspective into the students.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful answer. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes, yes.
Hello dear teachers, happy Teachers Day. I am Rania of grade 10 ICET. Hope you all keep fine and pray for that. We are alive because we remember so much. Would you mind recollecting the most memorable thing that happened to you in your personal life?
So, this is again Rania. This is a very nice question. The most memorable day in our life was the day when our Calicut University degree result was announced. Then my brother got first rank in BA English during 2005 and I got third rank. That was a turning point in our life because we people wanted to secure ranks for higher secondary. We tried, we worked hard. Unfortunately, that didn't materialize. So we wanted to compensate that in our degree, and when we went to Farooq College, with the help of the principal of Farooq College, Dr. P. Mubarak Pasha, we got a scholarship from Foundation for Academic Excellence and Access under Ford Foundation. Through that scholarship, we got ample opportunities, financial assistance from plus 2 computers with screen readers to do our academic tasks. So that degree rank was a turning point in the sense that gave us positions in society. Our academic capabilities were recognized by our colleagues, our friends, and the society at large. So that gave us ample confidence to go forward. So that was the most memorable event in our life.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful answer. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I'm Lezin, studying grade 9. I express my happiness to be this part of this talk show. And there's a famous saying that the imagination is the golden pathway to everyone, and the visual imagination has a significant role in one's life. Can you explain the way you imagine or visualize things while you read the books? And can you share with us what do you see in your dreams?
Thank you, Lizzie. That's indeed an awesome question. Obviously, I get such questions a lot from different people. And in fact, visual imagination is very important, is an understanding that is made by people who have vision. Because you are living in a world which is mostly structured for the visually abled people. But we have so far proven that it is possible to live without visual ability as well. You cannot always say that only those who have physical vision do have inner vision. So it does not, the inner vision is not related to your physical vision. Secondly, we don't have a component of visual experience in our life. So in a dream, for example, you do not see a dream, but you experience a dream. Imagine, for example, you have a dream wherein a gentleman comes and stabs you on your neck, and you do not see the kind of stabbing that a person comes and stabs you on your neck in a mirror, but you simply experience it, like you feel the piercing on down to your Adam's apple, and you feel the pain and all that when you wake up slowly and steadily, or when you get astounded and wake up suddenly, you feel the pain. Oh, someone has done something to me. So that's a kind of experience. So our life as such does not have a visual component. We don't have any idea of visual experience, so we are not bothered about when you ask. For example, if you come in front of me, since I am already aware of the social norms, I might ask one of my friends, for example, when Mubin is sitting here, how does she look like, whether she is well dressed and all that. Otherwise, I am not worried about. I don't have any idea of visual experience. Since I don't have any idea of visual experience in my life, I don't have that in my dreams as well. To be frank, even if I am given a boon on the next day, I am not likely to ask for that visual experience, because I have been living comfortably without that so far. So I think even without that, I can manage the coming days as well.
Okay, thank you so much for the wonderful answer. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
Hello sir, Happy Teachers Day. I'm Neha Naseem from grade 8. I'm curious to know of one of your questions to us, if you have any.
So thank you Neha again for that, a very curious question. So for me, the most important thing is having a goal in life that could be changing from time to time. However, to have a goal is very important. So my simple question is, or my question to you all is, what are your goals or what are your ambitions in life? Or have you got any ambition in your life?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I think Neha got the wonderful question from you, so she will think about it. Okay. Let's go through the next question.
Okay.
Happy Teachers Day. It's me Rishta from grade 8 in ICET. How things are going with you? Sir, I want to become a teacher. Inshallah, it's my dream profession and I do believe that I have a taste for it. I have heard that it's the teacher who makes the difference, not the classroom. Could you please tell me upon your experience, what are the do's and don'ts of this profession?
So Rushda, it's again a very amazing question. So teaching is perhaps the most liberal profession in the world if the person is able to capitalize it in a very fruitful manner. Because for a teacher, the whole world is the text. From the birth to death, from the sun to the earth, everything can be used in teaching. So rather than it's about do's or don'ts, the task of a teacher is to open up a wider universe or a wider perspective in the in the students. The task of a teacher is to give you paths, multiple paths perhaps, multiple ways through which you can examine the world. And a teacher shouldn't give, most often what happens is a teacher imposes his or her ideas on the students. That is not perfect. You can say my condition is this, but the best thing is you have to give them paths or ways or channels through which they can acquire their own ideas, or they can acquire their own saying on the world. So a real teacher must be a person who motivates the students to find their own vocations. It's not about giving them vocations, but motivating them to find their own vocations, their own choices in life. And the key message that a teacher has to give is, rather than becoming engineers, doctors or anybody, the most important challenge of our day is to become a good human being. So that is the key message that a teacher must impart to his students.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So we can go to the next question.
Hi, sir. Happy Teachers Day. Myself, Rana Mariam from 8th Standard. It's indeed my great pleasure and privilege to know something from you. Sir, you have a great career. From a district like Wayanad, you became a professor. Would you like to tell us about that journey?
So thank you, Rena, for that question. Indeed, as you said, the kind of life we had was a little bit challenging. We were born in Wayanad, obviously a district which had its own backwardness due to multiple socio-cultural reasons, and our parents were not educated, but they had that determination. So when we were children, we didn't have a special school at Wayanad. In fact, when we were about 4 or 5 years, our teacher, Mr. H. Muhammad Hanifa, who taught us at Rahmania School, was then working as a guidance counselor officer of Kerala Federation of the Blind at Wayanad district, visited us and told our parents that we should be sent to the school. But we were virtually crying then, and our parents also were skeptical of taking us to so far a destination for teaching us. So there was a delay of about 2 or 3 years, and then we came to the school. And the special school in fact opened up the universe to us. It shaped us what we are, and then we had the high school +2 education. In all our educational areas, we were getting the kind of support that we needed. The teachers were able to impart the kind of energy that we had, and plus the dedication of our parents was that also was there.
So it was indeed our mother's insistence that they will be sent to school, otherwise their life will become very dismal. So it was the decision of our mother that finally enabled us to go to school. In the school we were taught tabla and harmonium. We were also taught music, and we participated in state youth festivals. During 1999 Kollam State Youth Festival, we were second prize winners for orchestra. We were simultaneously playing harmonium and tabla, and we were also leading male singers along with our female companions. And we participated in zonal festivals of Calicut University. And in 2005, as a part of FAEA scholarship program I've already mentioned, there was an opportunity for among FAEA's 500 scholars in India. They selected 50 scholars to have an interaction with President APJ Abdul Kalam. Fortunately, we were selected from Kerala, and we got an opportunity to meet President APJ Abdul Kalam from Rashtrapati Bhavan, and that was a very wonderful experience in our life. And to get a job was another challenge after finishing our education. We qualified in it, Habib qualified it in the first chance itself. After 1 or 2 chances, I also got qualified. Then getting a job was the challenge.
And as soon as I completed my PG, I started working in Farooq College as a guest lecturer. So the management, obviously, due to the inspiration, to the recommendation given by my teachers and my then principal, Professor A. Kutyali Kuti sir, was ready to admit me. And Akbar and I got appointed in 2010 as an assistant professor, and then I did my PhD under my teacher and my later research guide, Dr. T.V. Prakash, on the topic representation and construction of the visually challenging selected fiction. And Akbar initially got appointed at Sullam Salam Arts and Science College. I recall prior to that he was working at WMO Arts and Science College as a guest lecturer. And in 2013 he got PSc and he started working at Government College Calcutta. Now he works at Government College Malappuram.
Now I am doing also my PhD under Dr. A.I. Vilayatullah in the topic Aesthetic Fulfillment and Creative Perception, contextualizing the narratives of the visually impaired with special reference to selected autobiographies.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us your inspiring story. And definitely your mother deserves a good applause because she is the one behind your success, I believe.
Thank you.
Shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
Hi sir, happy Teachers Day. I'm Nichna from grade 9. Glad to see you, at least virtually. I know it means much to you. Sir, I've read, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. So, teaching, if understand right, is more about intervention. Sir, may I know what advantage you have over students that the sighted teachers don't have over them?
So thank you for that question. In fact, I don't think that being a visually impaired person do give you any great advantage over students or make you or provide to you any great disadvantage. Obviously, in a very conventional kind of arrangement wherein your classroom arrangement, for example, if you have 120, 130 students, definitely vision can play a significant role in managing your classroom, in shaping your teaching ambience or environment, all that. But still, if your relationship with your students is good, if you have the ability to captivate your students through your teaching methodology, your knowledge flow, your perspectives, your narration and all that, then I think vocal modulation and all that, then I think there isn't much of an issue. In my 10 years career, I haven't yet felt any student who is showing me a great deal of sympathy. My student Mubin is here, she knows. No one usually shows sympathy to me being visually impaired, but except on a few occasions, I haven't experienced that great admiration as well. Obviously, there were a few occasions where people ask me, "Oh, you are visually impaired, still then you are doing this so wonderfully, how could it be?" But others do understand. If they sit in my class on 1 or 2 occasions, they understand being visually impaired is neither an limitation nor an advantage for me as a teacher. So I think it is irrelevant whether you are visually impaired or not. But you need to, our issue is, we don't usually accept diversity. So the only issue is you need to shape the environment in such a way that your diversity can be easily used for, your difference can be easily managed and used for your occasion.
So when compared with other teachers, what I felt in Habib sir class, we were extra vigilant in Habib sir class because he will catch easily other than teachers or other teachers.
That's one of my strategies, asking questions.
Yeah, because he will catch the sound of the student very easily because that other teachers may not be able to do that.
That is, we use the residual skill.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful answer. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes, yes.
Hi sir, Teachers Day wishes for you. Myself Isha from grade 9. Sir, you're talking about your teaching professionals, about your life stories and experiences. Really, it will light as in our thought studies. My question is truly a personal one. I'm very curious to know about your shopping experience. How do you pick out the clothes to wear and how do you differentiate the colors?
Thank you for that wonderful question. Indeed, I am happy to say that I like shopping. I do a lot of it. I either go with my wife or some of my friends, or I usually go alone even. But one strategy that I usually employ when I want to buy something is, I know the best brand that is available. So my conviction so far is that if you buy the best brand, then you will not be cheated. If you want to buy, for example, tea powder, go and buy Kannan Devan or something like Harrison Modern Mix or AVT, so that you will get the best product. So regarding the usual kind of shopping, I ask them which is the best brand that you have. My idea is that if you buy the ordinary product, you may spend less, but the quality won't be that good. So, and again, sometimes if I have a simple doubt about the product, I usually touch everything when I take it, and if I have any doubt over it, I ask them to read out the expiry date and make sure that it is good one. And then once you are into that, definitely if you make 1 or 2 kinds of shopping, then you learn the art of it. Very rarely have my wife complain that the product that I bought are not good enough. Even if she makes some mistakes, I usually very rarely had I to go back and change the product that I bought. And regarding dress, obviously, I am aware of the latest fashions and the color combinations are chosen by my wife mostly, otherwise my friends. And in the past it was done by my mother and father and my sister as well. Now it's done by my friends, but still, for example, if you want to buy a shoe, I know the latest model, I somehow learn everything on the internet or anything. If it is a technological gadget, I am good at suggesting things. For example, if you want to buy a mobile phone, many of my friends approach me for suggesting a mobile phone. I usually go through the internet and understand what are the latest models, features and all that. So shopping is obviously a very exciting experience for me, and in fact traveling is a very interesting, an experience that gives me a lot of pleasure, and shopping is an additional part of it. But shopping in Kerala is quite different from shopping in outside Kerala, wherein you need to be very vigilant and very attentive.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for explaining your shopping experience in detail. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
Hi sir, I'm Rana, studying in grade 9. Happy Teachers Day. How are you, sir? Reading, as Bacon said, maketh a full man, and literature is all about reading. You are a professor of literature and language. That means you have to read a lot, and I believe you do. So, how do you manage your reading and studies?
So, as Rana has already quoted Bacon, reading maketh a full man. Bacon said some books are to be tasted, some others to be swallowed, and a few to be chewed and digested. Now, we people have started reading rather late. When we were in high school or plus 2, we started reading with the help of our friends. Then we got the computer screen readers. In English, we have got some softwares like Kurzweil, where you can adjust the speed. At present, I read with a speed of 400 words per minute. So, I'll be able to read around 40,000 words in 100 minutes. So, you can read any book in a very speedy manner. And of course, reading is for our pleasure. And with regard to Malayalam, we have some screen readers, optical character recognizing softwares in Ubuntu. And these days we have got a lot of libraries such as Duty, Shravyam, Aksharanadam, Vijnanadevam and so on. They are all online collectivity initiated by visually impaired people with the assistance of sighted people. They are the volunteers contributing read texts, and visually impaired people are listening to it. So plenty of Malayalam books are available in the audio format. For English texts, there is no problem because we can read EPUB format, we can read doc format, any PDF format, any format. So nowadays, when we were degree or PG students, much of the e-copies were not available. We had to scan the text with the aid of a scanner. We used to put the text in a scanner. Then the images could be scanned, and then later it could be recognized and stored as a text, and the screen reader used it to read for us. Now almost when the text is released, its e-copy is available. So the scanning difficulty is over and all the major texts are available. And of course, the selection of reading depends on your taste. I like fiction, I like autobiographies. I also read some theoretical books which are relevant to our age. And one of my greatest pleasure is reading Hindu. I read it in online, and on every day I try to read editorial page where there will be very fine stuff. Language is fine and the perspective is also very, very good. So reading is not a challenge as far as the present age is concerned. Even photo text, some text sent through the medium of photo, they will be scanned and read by some software such as Envision AI, ID Pro, and so on. And there are apps which help us in navigation, GPS apps such as ID Pro, then nearby online explorer. So technology has been a boon for visually impaired people like us or disabled people, because it has reduced our difficulties, it has increased our access, and it has removed a lot of our blocks.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions of our students, and we are so blessed today to hear such a wonderful, a talk show session with you. I would like to invite Mohammad Shah sir again for concluding this session.
Thank you, Mubin.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, I have a personal question that so far you have been talking of your teaching career, your profession, reading, and all together. Really, our students, they are much inspired. Definitely, I guess so. And but you did not mention about your family. What do you talk? So, if you want, how do you remember of them and about your family, please?
Thank you, sir. In fact, our father is Mr. C. Kunyammal. He is a social activist from Vaikiri, Wayanad district. Our mother is Hawwa. She originally belongs to Trichy. Now they are both staying in Wayanad. We have a sister, Habira. She is married to Mr. Mansoor from Payoli. They both are working at Embassy School, Jeddah, where you were working earlier. And now we both are married. My wife is Ruxana. She is working at Government High School, Pandikad. I have two children, Amir Zayan and Amal Zidan.
And my wife is Regila. She is an MCOM net holder, not yet employed. I have a daughter. Her name is Ashna. We call her Sona. She is studying in 2nd standard at GLPS.
My children are studying at Markasul Ulum Higher Secondary School, Ekkabaram, near Kondoti. So that is all about family.
Okay, thank you, sir. And so you just on the way you were talking, you just mentioned about that how you were taking part in festivals, and that means in art you are not only a teacher and you have been taking part in so many on stage programs also. And if you don't mind, would you like to sing a few lines for our students and for us, and it will be a grateful end to the show.
So this is a song sung by Muhammad Rafi Sahab. Its tune is similar to the song Baharo Phul Barsa from the film Suraj. And this particular English version of it is written by Harindranath Chattopadhyay, and it is again sung by Muhammad Rafi Sahab, one of the two English songs sung by him. So in fact it was one of the songs that we like very much.
Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one. Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one. We want all and we to cease, for we want peace. We all want peace. We want no hate. We want no strife. Since we were born for love and life, come let us chant while joining hands. We shall not rest till wars are done. Remember, friends, the world is one. Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth and sky and sun. Remember, friends, the world is one.
Thank you, sir, for this section, and we know that this season it is not possible to that means give you farewell shaking hand. It won't be possible anyway. So I know that personally that you are in very hectic schedule. So in that time, for spending your precious time with our children, our students, definitely inshallah when the schools are opening, and definitely we will invite you to our school, ICET Public School. It is in Malappuram, and definitely it was a wonderful time, sir. Thank you very much.
And thank you for this enlightening experience. Thank you for your
the kind of questions. Some of the questions were really baffling us, and in fact it was a really nice experience. Thank you for providing us this opportunity,
this precious opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are indeed keen on meeting your students one day.